They look like ordinary pennies, but these three rare wheat cents from 1936, 1938, and 1955 hold secrets that could be hiding in your pocket. Right now, these coins have shaken the world of collectors with their errors, low mintages, and untold stories from the depths of the Great Depression to the shadows of post-war America. Get ready for a journey through time, value, and mystery as we uncover the top 3 rare wheat pennies that every American coin hunter needs to know, and reveal why this humble coin could be one of the most important pieces in American numismatic history. The year is 1938. America stands quietly in the shadows of a changing world. The Great Depression is ending. The winds of war are blowing overseas, and yet in the pocket of a hard-working American sits a simple copper coin. 1 cent bearing the face of Abraham Lincoln with 2 wheat stalks on the back. This is the wheat penny of 1938, and its story is far deeper than its denomination. The wheat penny design began in 1909, marking the centennial of Lincoln's birth, created by Victor David Brenner. The obverse features the iconic portrait of Lincoln, while the reverse carries 2 wheat ears, symbolizing prosperity and unity. This design would continue until 1958. But every year within this series holds its own chapter, and the year 1938 brings forward its own tale. Minted in 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The 1938 wheat penny was struck in a time of preparation and economic transition. The Philadelphia Mint produced over 156 million coins, the Denver Mint just over 20 million, and the San Francisco Mint a little over 15 million. These numbers may seem large, but for collectors and historians, the story lies beyond the mintage. It lies in condition variations, mint marks, historical context, errors, and survival rates. Let us begin with the historical backdrop of 1938. The United States was still grappling with the effects of the Depression, but slowly recovering. Franklin D. Roosevelt was president. His New Deal programs were reshaping American life, jobs were returning, industry was growing, and yet Europe was heading toward the Second World War. Coins of this era became subtle witnesses to these times, circulating in millions of hands across cities, towns, and rural communities. The penny may have seemed insignificant, but it was a daily tool, a necessity, a marker of time. In terms of composition, the 1938 wheat penny followed the standard used since 1909, 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. This bronze alloy would continue until 1943, when the wartime steel cent was temporarily introduced, but the 1938 penny remains within that traditional copper standard, giving it a rich reddish-brown tone when preserved properly. That tone is sought after today by collectors, especially in uncirculated condition. Next, we must understand the significance of mint marks. The Philadelphia coins bear no mark. Denver bears the D and San Francisco bears the AS. The 1938 D and 1938 S coins had lower mintages, making them more desirable in higher grades, while circulated examples are common mint, state red examples with full details. Clean surfaces and strong luster are far scarcer and bring higher premiums at auction. A key area of intrigue in the wheat penny series is error coins, and the 1938 penny offers several examples from doubled dies to off-center strikes, repunched mint marks, and die cracks. Errors from the Denver Mint especially are often sought due to their crisp strike quality and the likelihood of varieties developing in smaller runs. Repunched mint marks, or RPM coins, are known to exist in the 1938 D series, with doubling visible under magnification in the DI mint mark itself. These varieties are cataloged by specialists and fetch strong interest among error collectors. Moving into the realm of grading, we consider how these coins are evaluated on the 70-point Sheldon scale. A 1938 penny in good condition may only bring face value or slightly more, but one in MS-65 red condition certified by PCGs or NGC can be worth significant sums, especially if it possesses a rare variety or a perfectly preserved surface with original mint luster. Color plays a major role as well, with red, brown, and brown designations describing the copper color preservation. Red is most desirable as it indicates minimal oxidation and maximum eye appeal. The auction history of the 1938 wheat penny tells a vivid story. In recent years, MS 67 red examples have sold for hundreds, even thousands, depending on rarity and demand. For example, a 1938D in MS 67 red with a sharp strike and original color may bring over $1,000 in top venues, including heritage auctions, stacks, Bowers, and great collections. The provenance or ownership history of these coins can also enhance their value, with some specimens carrying a chain of elite collectors in their records. Beyond the numbers, the 1938 wheat penny serves as a mirror of American resilience, as the nation climbed out of economic hardship and into a new industrial era. This coin circulated during moments of transformation, from radio dominance to the rise of television, from old world immigration to new world industry, from the first supermarket to the last days before World War II. Each coin touched lives, witnessed transactions, and silently chronicled the American experience. For the numismatist, the 1938 wheat penny is not just a collectible, it is a portal into the past. It allows us to trace metallurgy, technology, design, and the evolution of American culture through something as simple as 1 cent. It is why collectors pursue not just rarity, but connection. It is why condition matters, not just for value, but for preservation of memory. Advanced collectors often pursue full sets of wheat pennies by year and mint mark, with high-grade examples filling albums or slabbed collections. The 1938 issues, especially from San Francisco, are considered condition. Rarities, meaning few high-grade red examples, survive from that mint due to weaker strikes and less careful handling over time. Their population in top grades remains limited, creating constant demand. We must also speak of fakes and counterfeits as the hobby has grown. So have attempts to create replicas, altered mint marks, or artificially colored pieces. This makes authentication crucial, especially for high-value coins. Third party grading services play a vital role in ensuring legitimacy, assigning grades and sealing coins in tamper-proof holders with serial numbers accessible online through databases. In the world of education and museums, the wheat penny remains an accessible tool for teaching history, economics, and design. Even schools use them to introduce children to coin collecting and the world of numismatics. A 1938 wheat penny can spark conversations about inflation, industry politics, and the personal stories of those who use them daily. As we move deeper into the 21st century, the value of these pennies extends beyond price. It lies in preservation, storytelling, and the shared passion of millions of collectors worldwide, from beginners with jars of old change to specialists curating mint state rarities. The community continues to grow, centered around the quiet, humble wheat penny. As we approach the conclusion of this detailed journey, let us reflect on what makes the 1938 wheat penny so compelling. It is not its price tag, though some are quite valuable. It is not only its copper shine, though brilliant reds catch the eye. It is its place in history. A coin minted on the brink of war, carried through a time of peace and struggle, used by people whose names we may never know, but whose legacy we honor with every coin collected, every story told, every memory preserved. So next time you come across a wheat penny, take a closer look. If it says 1938, remember that you hold not just a coin, but a piece of the American soul, a quiet survivor from a world that was changing 1 cent at a time. Rare double die to hidden versions few have ever seen. The 1955 wheat penny is more than copper. It is a key to unlocking forgotten stories. A symbol of error turned into gold and a living legend among coin hunters across generations. If you own one, you could be sitting on a fortune. If you find one, you've struck gold. Now let's journey into the untold story of the 1955 wheat penny, where truth meets myth and history breathes in metal. The story of the 1955 wheat penny begins not in 1955, but deep within the American soul, where coins were never just currency, but reflections of national pride, strength, and values. The wheat penny, or Lincoln cent, first minted in 1909, was a tribute to President Abraham Lincoln and a bold step forward for U.S. coinage. This coin was the first to feature a real historical figure on its face, A major departure from the allegorical designs of earlier American coins, the obverse featured a bust of Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner, whose initials caused controversy when first included on the coin. The reverse showed two stalks of wheat, symbols of prosperity and growth, tying the coin to the land and the labor of the American people. For nearly 5 decades, the wheat penny would become an everyday part of life. It would be exchanged in shops, found in lunch boxes, and dropped into piggy banks by children. The Lincoln cent became more than a coin. It was a witness to history, from the World Wars to the Great Depression to the Cold War. And in 1955, this humble coin became the center of one of the most famous minting errors in American history. The Philadelphia Mint was the birthplace of the 1955 double-die penny, one of the most iconic errors ever produced in American numismatics. The process of minting coins involves the use of dies which stamp designs onto blank metal discs called planchets. Normally, these dies are prepared with great care, but in 1955, something went terribly wrong. During the die creation process, one working die received a second impression that was misaligned, creating a phenomenon known as doubling. When this die began striking coins, the result was stunning. The date and the letters, especially in the words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust," appeared as if doubled ghosted, creating a dramatic and unmistakable effect. Hundreds of thousands of these error coins were struck during a single overnight shift before the mistake was caught. But instead of destroying the flawed coins, the mint let them circulate, blending them into standard coin bags bound for banks and businesses. No official statement was made. No warning was given. The double-die pennies simply entered circulation like any other cent. When the coins reached the public, the reaction was immediate, and electric people began noticing the strange, doubled lettering. Especially the date 1955, collectors scrambled to get their hands on them. Newspapers picked up the story, and soon the 1955 double die became a household name. This was not just an error, it was a sensation. Some called it a minting miracle. Others believed it was deliberate, a marketing stunt or conspiracy, but all agreed on one thing: the coin was unlike anything seen before. And it sparked a modern gold rush across America. Coin dealers began offering premiums to anyone who could find one. Children emptied their coin jars. Adults began checking every penny they received in change. This frenzy lasted years, and even today, the 1955 double die remains one of the most desired coins in circulation, despite being nearly 70 years old. As demand skyrocketed, so did the number of counterfeits. Many attempted to recreate the double die using mechanical doubling and other methods. But the true 1955 double die has distinct features that experts use to authenticate it. Genuine coins show strong doubling, especially on the obverse, with clearly separated letters and date digits. The doubling appears as raised and bold, not flattened, as with machine doubling the position of the mint mark. The style of the bin, lettering, and even the specific die markers help distinguish the real from the fake. Collectors use high magnification and comparison tools to identify genuine examples. And today, third-party grading services like PCGS and NGC play a critical role in certifying and encapsulating these coins, ensuring their legitimacy and preserving them for future generations. The value of a 1955 double-die wheat penny has climbed steadily over the decades depending on condition. This coin can sell from hundreds to thousands of dollars. Uncirculated mint state examples have fetched staggering prices at auction. One pristine MS-65 red example sold for over $100,000. The rarity of high-grade specimens, combined with the coin's legendary status, has made it a crown jewel of Lincoln cent collections. Even circulated versions with visible doubling can be worth hundreds, if not thousands. Collectors prize eye appeal, and originality coins that are not cleaned or altered often command higher prices. As of now, there is no sign of this coin's value dropping, as it remains both historically important and endlessly fascinating to collectors. Beyond its market value, the 1955 wheat penny holds a special place in the heart of American coin collecting. It is often the first major error coin that collectors learn about, and many begin their numismatic journeys by trying to hunt one down. The coin has appeared in books, magazines, news reports, and documentaries. It is a symbol of how chance and mistake can lead to greatness in the world of minting. It also serves as a case study in how the public reacts to rarity and mystery in everyday objects. Teachers use it to inspire students about history. Minting and economics museums display it as a representation of American innovation and imperfection. The coin has outlived its era and become a timeless story. While the double die is the star of 1955, there are other interesting varieties and standard issues. From that year, the regular 1955 wheat penny is still collectible, especially in high grades, and Mint States pennies from the Denver Mint, though not struck with a double die, are part of sets for year collectors. Proof sets from that year do not include the famous double die, but are still desirable for their sharp details and low mintages. Researchers have also documented minor doubling and other errors from 1955, including die cracks, cuts-off center strikes, and more. Each of these adds to the rich story of the year and fuels the passion of collectors. Finding a 1955 double die today is rare, but not impossible. Searching old coin jars, inherited collections, and bank rolls can still yield treasure. Online auctions, estate sales, and coin shows remain great hunting grounds. But caution is key due to the many counterfeits. Verifying authenticity through grading and expert review is essential. Starting a Lincoln cent collection with focus on wheat pennies is a smart move for new collectors, and the 1955 double die serves as a perfect centerpiece. Storing coins, properly learning how to grade them, and studying minting history will help build a rewarding and valuable collection. The 1955 wheat penny, especially the double die, remains one of the greatest stories in U.S. coin history. It is a symbol of how an accident can create a masterpiece, how a single night at the mint can echo across generations. It captures the imagination, not just because of its look or its value, but because it reminds us that in the smallest places, even in a copper penny, there can be greatness, mystery, and history waiting to be discovered. The coin connects everyday people to the minting process, to the fabric of America, and to the shared excitement of finding something rare in the most unexpected of places. This is not just a penny, this is a gateway into a forgotten America. The year was 1936. The United States was still crawling out of the Great Depression, and across the nation, coins played a vital role in everyday survival. Among them, the Lincoln Wheat Penny stood as a symbol of endurance, humility, and hope. This particular year marked the continuation of a coin series that began in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, designed by Victor David Brenner. The wheat reverse became iconic, instantly representing the harvest of American labor and the fruits of democratic ideals. As the economy struggled in 1936, Americans clutched these small copper coins, using them for everything from a loaf of bread to a stamp for a heartfelt letter home. These coins were not just currency. They were lifelines, circulating through cities, farms, and factory towns alike. In 1936, 3 mint locations were responsible for the production of the wheat penny: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, with Philadelphia producing the majority, with over 300 million coins denoted with no mint mark. The Denver Mint released about 40 million identified with AD, and the San Francisco Mint produced over 29 million carrying the S mint mark. Each of these coins carries its own narrative based on where it was struck and how it aged through time. The 1936 penny also stands out for the existence of a highly desirable collectible, the 1936 double die obverse, variety caused by a misalignment in the die during minting. This error created a doubling effect most noticeable in the words "Liberty in God," "We Trust," and the date 1936 itself. This variety is incredibly rare, and when found in high condition can fetch thousands of dollars among collectors. This mint error was not caught early, and therefore many entered circulation unknowingly, making the hunt for one today like searching for a needle in a haystack. But the historical relevance of the 1936 wheat penny goes far beyond mint errors. During this time, President Franklin Delano Roosevelt was implementing the Second New Deal. The Works Progress Administration was building schools, roads, and bridges across America, and these very pennies passed through the hands of workers who were employed through government relief programs. A 1936 penny might have been tossed into a jukebox at a diner on Route 66 or dropped into a steel donation box at a local church. It could have been part of a young boy's allowance saved for comic books or part of a mother's last coin to buy milk for her family. Its journey is unknowable yet deeply woven into American life. During this transformative period, these coins were 95% copper, with the remainder being a mix of tin and zinc. They weigh about 31 grams with a diameter of 19 millimeters. Their reddish-brown tone varies depending on how they have been stored and cared for over the years. Uncirculated examples retain their original luster, while circulated ones tell stories through scratches, toning, and dents. The Philadelphia Mint had no mint mark, and many of these are still found today in average circulated condition, worth just a few cents. However, in uncirculated or red mint state, they can be worth significantly more, particularly in mint state grades above MS-65, where values jump into hundreds of dollars. The Denver Mint D-Mark coins were fewer but still widely available. Their value follows a similar pattern, with mint state coins being the most desirable. The San Francisco Mint coins with the S Mint mark are even more sought after, especially in high grade due to their relatively lower mintage. One of the most important aspects for collectors is eye appeal. This includes not only luster and color but also strike quality and surface preservation, because these pennies were produced during a high-demand year. Some dies were overused, resulting in weak strikes. These coins are less desirable to advanced collectors, but still hold numismatic interest. In 1936, the United States was slowly seeing signs of economic recovery, but global tension was rising in Europe and Asia. The penny minted this year, therefore, represents a moment of peace before the storm, as by 1939 the world would once again plunge into war. These pennies remained in circulation throughout World War II and were part of the copper hoarding that led to the 1943 steel cent. During the war effort, some 1936 pennies were buried during the Dust Bowl migration, hidden in tin cans under floorboards or lost on abandoned farms. Today, metal detectorists often find them in the most unexpected places with corrosion, telling a silent tale of time and earth. Some collectors pursue the complete set of wheat pennies from 1909 to 1958, and the 1936 penny is a crucial piece in that collection, especially if the collector is chasing the famed 1936 double die. The rarity of this variety cannot be overstated. It is often counterfeited due to its high value, and as such, authentication by a third-party grading service like PCGs or NGC is essential. The process of grading a 1936 penny includes a detailed examination under magnification to assess doubling strike quality and wear. In cases of MS-66 or higher with red color designation, the value can skyrocket at auctions. Coin shows across the United States often highlight rare varieties, and the 1936 DDoS are centerpieces in displays and dealer tables. Not only is this penny a collector's dream, but it has also become a symbol in American culture, appearing in textbooks, coin guides, and even inspirational stories of kids finding one in change that turns out to be worth hundreds or thousands. Those stories fuel the dream of treasure hunting among casual collectors and spark new generations of numismatists interested in the rich legacy of American coinage. The 1936 wheat penny is not just copper, it is a microcosm of American life in the mid-1930s, reflecting economic struggle, governmental innovation, and the quiet resilience of a nation. This coin holds its place among the most important and beloved collectible cents in United States history, and as every year passes, it grows even more valuable as a historical artifact, especially those preserved in mint state, from its design roots in the Art Nouveau movement through Victor Brenner's portraiture to the rustic harvest imagery of wheat on the reverse. The coin bridges artistry, economy, and memory. Each scratch, each mark, each fade is a fingerprint of American past, making the 1936 wheat penny more than money. It is memory in metal form, and those who hold one hold a piece of unfiltered history.